Alrighty, good morning. Oh, where's that? Alrighty, good morning, good afternoon. Let's try that one more time. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. There it is. I know I could get that out. This is Doc from North America. Already done that part. All right. My head is thinking about the Chinese market again. Nothing major. Not like yesterday and the day before. Just wanted to see what they did overnight. I looked at it last night as they were trading. It was much higher. I'll just show you that right there. I love the new product, our beta. And you can see there it was up a little bit, but at one point they were really lifting it, and then they actually broke it down after a while. And they bounced back. I guess that's like their quantitative easing of some form. Who knows? But in the end result, that just shows you that sugar high we've talked about. All right, let's get over to the dollar index. I just wanted to see where it was at. I thought about that as I was turning on the webinar, and I'm thinking to myself, geez, you should check that out and see where it got to. Because last night they were definitely doing something, and now they are not. Yeah, just was curious, that's all. Let's get to the dollar index. We've laid out our opinion about, China's situation at the moment, so it doesn't really need to be reinforced. We've done so many things now over the last 2 weeks since they tried to do their, I guess it's like a communist QE. I don't know. Either way, let's keep on marching. You can see here the dollar index keeps on finding a way to go up, and you can see that right there on the full screen before we even look at the algorithms. A lot of pressure there on the upside, and in many ways it's still outpacing the energy complex, where they both looked like they were moving together, which is kind of cool in the sense that it made sense. There was nervousness and concern about hundreds of ballistic missiles being fired at a country from another country, and you got to wonder what kind of, especially when the first country that fired the ballistic missiles at the little country has the ability to wipe the bigger country off the map to begin with. So, it kind of makes you, not sure what they're going to do. I have a general idea what they might do, and I don't care to get involved in having that conversation. But, that's why the energy market went flying up all the way up to there. You got to imagine, we've seen this thing, especially when they fired all those ballistic missiles at them right there. You can see it was trading in, oil was trading down in the low 66 area, and it found a way after just 5-6 days, the trade up to the 78 area. So it was a $12 move, and now it has back and filled, I guess you could say, to the 71.5 area. So I guess you could literally, we don't have the power to Fibonacci that, but let's do it on the old platform and Fibonacci that instead. And let's see, cancel and open, and there we go. All right, let's get that. Oh, and let's move it over to, so you can see it too. So we'll just look at that, the two things, there it is right there. And then we'll go like right there. And then we'll widen it like so. And that's that low there. So let's take the Fibonacci sequence and see how well it matches up from there to there. And the green line is the 50 percentile. So it backed off really well from the low here of 63 inch. Why does that don't show a 63? It shows a 66. Oh, I guess it was it a 66? Yeah, it was a 66. That's it. Okay. So there's the low 66, 66.33 to be exact. And then there's your high of the 78. What was that? The high was 78.46. Right there, you can see that. And you can see it's like 78.49 is the 0 point. And so the green line represents the 50 percentile. So they knocked it down 50% and almost got to the 0.618, which is even more fascinating, which was 70.91. and the low here was 71.53, so it missed it. It was a higher high. I'm sorry, higher low. You can see it's trying to bounce here, and we're 3 days in the sell, like so, and then you can go back to the beta. And it's interesting, just to look at the good old-fashioned Fibonacci. You got to remember, our math has Fibonacci in its own way. Yo, Robin, you didn't need a what do you call that? An address. I didn't have to give you an address today. That's okay. I was looking, kept my eye out on that. For like 5 minutes before the webinar, 4 minutes before the webinar, I kept on looking and say, does Robin need the address? Does he need the address? So you can see here, it dropped below the 50 percentile right in here, and then now it's trying to bounce up, and it's also 3 days in a sell. So interesting, very interesting. And let's see if we have a 30-year bond, because obviously, we can look at it right here. Let me kill that right there. We can look at it on the other platform again. Let's just look at the 30-year bond. The 30-year bond is still heading down. It's the opposite. Let's see if we can get it on the beta. I know I have it in here. I hope I wrote it in there too. It's so easier to read these things. Matter of fact, I think if I spot it, which I'm going to do, I am going to spot it. And when I spot it, there's the Brent. And then, let's see. I know I added some of these. I know I have the 10-year in there. Let's see. And I'm sure I have the 30-year. But let's see. I might just delete whatever. Is it the ZN? I think that's the 10-year. Here's the 10-year bond. I'm almost sure that's a 10-year bond. But you can see how it's when this is just going like this. There's a full screen. You can see that. And you can see this is the bond. When the bond goes down in price, interest rates are rising. Just like when the bond price was going up, interest rates were dropping. So you can see this morning it's trading at 112.06. So that must be the 10-year. Now let's do some maintenance since nobody's asking me any questions. I'll just keep on playing the scientist. I like playing the scientist. I like being the scientist. Trading. Yahoo. Let's see what ZN is. I'm almost sure that's the 10-year. Yeah, that's the 10-year note. All right, so, and then let's see if we can find, and I think ZB might be the 30-year. I think that's what that is. I think that's the 30-year ZB. Yes, that is the. All right, so let's do this. We'll go like that, and we're going to put that in there into the platform. And this way, it's almost like a tutorial to the platform every day now. And so that's why I say to Robin, let's let some people have this thing for free so you can try experiment. We can learn what we do wrong on it because I keep on learning from it every day, and I love it. Users, products, add, put that in there like so, paste, and I'm just going to put 30-year YR. That's nice. I like that. Bond. James Bond. What? Back. Did I screw that up? Let's just go look down at the bottom there. I did. I screwed that up. Alright, let's try that one more time. I was talking and working at the same time. Add a product. D. Bang. And then put 30 YR bond create. That's what I needed to do, is create. Something went wrong. What do you mean something went wrong? What is the malfunction here? So let's look and see if it's on here already then. ZB. Maybe that's why it's rejecting it, because it's a conflict with each other. ZB. There it is right there. So there's the ZB. Okay, that's it. So I have to delete that. And there is the 30-year, and we'll just throw that up there, like so. And there's that you can see that action. It's falling down. It was even lower, and hence the reason why we see now it's not the ballistic missile threat to energy inventory on the third rock from the sun. It is interest rates. That's what it is. So we go like that, and then we do this. Let's delete that. Let's see if it'll let me put it in there. Another learning lesson. I like that. ZB. ZB, 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 ZB. There it is right there. Hit the little trash can. I wonder who that second one is. Let me just, before I delete it, let me go see who's the second user. Might be Robin. Users. Let's try it. That and see if it's Robin. See if ZB is in there. ZN is in there. He has access to that, so then it must be Robin. I must have given him the 30-year just to be able to look at that too. Let's see. Let's see. ZB, ZB, ZB. There, B, ZB. That's why we're putting names in there now, because it makes so much more sense. So look at it. I'm like, I don't see it, and I see all the names. ZB, just like ZN. And remember, you can stop me from playing scientist by just asking me a question. I'm just doing it because no one's asking me a question and I'm bored. I want to make this thing even better. Yes, he has access to that. Okay, so it'll be just giving Robin access back to it again. Okay, so where am I going here now? I go like this. Bing. Bada bing, bada bang. And we'll do ZN and ZB. If I run across ZN, I'm deleting that one too, and we're going to be able to put the tenure in there. I like that idea. I don't like not having the names, because I'm searching and searching and searching like a madman. Okay, delete. Good, you're gone. And then let's see if we can find ZB again. ZB, ZB. There it is. And we'll delete that like so. Now let's add it again. Add product. Paste. 30-year. Create. That's a lot happier, isn't it? Yes, it is. Let's add another product. We can do both of them at the same time. ZN equals F. 10-year. See, it's a bond and a note at 10-year. They're considered both, which is really odd. But that's the old bond system. Bond note. Create. All right. Now we go and take a look at the users, and we free up Monsieur Rabin. Access. And then we do it again. There we go. And then we go to me, to Doc. Users. Let's go to Doc. There it is right there. Still no questions. Okay. You guys like the idea that I ramble. And we should get rid of that one too. But let me just turn these two on. Access. And then user again. Oop. Didn't mean to do that, but what the hey. Back down again, because that ETF is okay, but it's not the best thing in the world. It's a combination of something like 7-year. I think it's 5, 7, and 10, because it's like the notes. It's an ETF, which makes it even more irritating. Yeah, right there. Okay, so it's right up near the top. Edit. Well, let's just go back to here. There we go. And delete that puppy like so. They're gone. You gone. You gone. All right. Now We can go back down and see that we have the 10-year now. I don't have to fish like a blind man. You can see that. You see the same thing with the algorithm too. Let's show you how the algorithm's been looking. It's just been down for, I don't know, what's that, 6, 7 days now. And I guess when we go back and say that, and then we go back to Mr. and Mrs. Dollar, and all the little dollars marching along behind it. Right there. That's what we need to do, is fix that too, but at least that's not too bad. I don't mind that because it sticks out because it's so long. You can see the dollar index, full screen, 7 days. Is it 7 days? There's 4. No, this is 8 days. So that's interesting. The dollar index took off before the bond. Now, let me tell you an old story that's always fascinating to me. When I traded at the Board of Trade, the CBOE, and the CME, one of the things I always noticed, especially when I was trading currencies very actively, and that was volatility always expanded in the currencies a day or two before it hit the stock markets over here, which I always found very fascinating. So, in other words, we were major volatility traders, and I was I guess you could say I was the lead experimentalist for our trading group. And so, I was always looking at different ways of trying to. This is before there was official volatility traders. There was no VIX. None of that stuff existed. And so, matter of fact, I think we put the input in how to create the VIX index over at the board of CBOE, the Chicago Board of Options Exchange. Because of our way we followed volatility. It was the Marx way, I guess you could say. And so I was trading everything. So I was paying attention to IBM. I was paying attention to S&P 500 futures. I was paying attention to Deutschmarks and British pound and the currencies. And so I would be trading them in a volatility way, not necessarily a directional way. I used my math to be able to adjust my deltas to trade them in a directional way, and it increased my success rate. But I got bored with that over time. But that's besides the point. Became old hat. It could be computerized, in other words. And so in the end result is that's what I did on my own. Just did it computerized. But anyway, skip that. Don't pay attention with Doc's mumbling. I always saw that connection. Now, I haven't paid attention to that in years. I talk about it once in a while when I see the currencies make their moves in our algorithm situation. And then you see the stock market make a move, and I go, and I ramble about this a little bit. I just go, oh yeah, I seen that connection decades upon decades ago, back in the 80s. So now with quantitative easing, I would imagine it's a little bit less connected. I would just guess that. But there is another good example. The dollar index took off before the bond by a day. Just a simple example like that, nothing more than that. And I guess, we could always pay attention to that, especially now with the beta, when we have this power to play with, making full screens. There's the weekly, and you can see the lines so much better now. We really can dissect it even better. So, and then there's your daily. We do the same thing again. We can really, really, really look at it. It's playing with the manifold so nicely right there. A lot of times I have to go on the old platform and I'm pointing, it's going through the manifold, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. So you can see the distance down that these are standard deviations of our math. So in other words, it's like a Bollinger Band. And, and I show you on the old platform how our math is always ahead of the Bollinger Band and confirming the direction well before the John's standard deviations do it. On the underlining product itself. Here we are doing it on the math of the algorithm. So we're jumping ahead. We're way ahead of that. So just figured I'd ramble that. Yeah. All right, there we go. All right, so that's enough fun. I had a lot of fun there. Let's go look at something else. I'm bored. All right, let's go over to not there. Boom. And obviously not there. Ben's 40th birthday at Observer Ranch on October 19th. not that. That's a part of the electric universe and suspicious observers, and and that's why we're seeing all this weather. I don't need to get into that because I know a lot of you are very religious on global something, global change, global warming, global cooling, whatever you want to call it. Let's go to, where are we going from there? Oh, we're going to the Deutschmark. Not the Deutschmark. Let's go to the euro. Let's see what the euro's up to this morning. Euro on the wall. You're the prettiest of them all. Poor Brussels trying to beat up on investments. Brussels needs to calm down about taxation and arresting good capitalists. All right, it's down here somewhere. There's the dollar index. There's the Spanish energy company. There it is. I think that's it. That's Swiss. So it must be up a little bit higher. There it is right there. And we need to put the name on that in there too. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do that right now since no one's asking a question. I mean, it's like, hey, why not? All right, so if I go like that, I could probably make that copy like that. All right, and then I can go like this, go back. And did that work? It did, didn't it? No, it did not. Yes, it did. It's right there again, not starting me off at the top. Trash can. Gone. And then add product. And then paste. Then Euro USD. Create. Ta-da. Give it approval. Users. Robin and myself. Okay, where'd you go? Where'd you go? Let's try that again. Oh no, it's add product. That's what it is. Products, add product. There we go. Maybe try this. Paste. Then Euro USD. Create. What do you mean there's a problem? Thus is problem. Oh, you know what? I bet I didn't delete the other one. Let's try that. I bet I did not delete it because I did see it. So let's go down there and find it again. I got to delete it first before I can add it again. There it is right there. No, it's not. It's right around here somewhere, isn't it? Maybe I did delete it. Maybe I need to do a little resyncing like that. All right, so here's all the names, and it was right up in here somewhere. So I don't see it up there. There's the dollar index. It was right near the dollar index. So let's do that. Now we go like this. Do the little circly thing again. Slide all the way up like so. Add a product. Go like that. Paste. And we'll do that one more time. We'll just go $, create. Still wants to give me a problem. So I guess I have to do something like close this thing and start over again. Let's do that. And you can see when Ben is doing what. You want to see the sun in live action? Check this out.
Let's start with the last 24
hours on our star. We had a Class 4 flare that's coming at us, heading towards Earth right now as we speak. Today we're going to basically get affected. We should be affected more than we've had before, and we're having all these storms from them. Yes, the sun controls our weather 99.9% of the time. All right, now let's go back to this. Trading thing. Let's scroll down just to make sure it is gone, because it seems like I've done something where I've lost it. Maybe it doesn't like the way I did it. Let's just see. There's the Swiss. So it's let's try it this way. Let's go back to the there, and get it more correctly. Like put the little hat on it, shift, XDS, XD, E. That's what, right there. Then we go save it. Maybe I just could not save it from the platform itself. Copy. Then we're going to go back over to here. Go all the way down to the bottom. See if it is sitting down there. See, if it had been added, it would have probably jumped in at it down there at the bottom. So I don't see it added. So let's go add product and try it one more time. Paste. Still give me a problem. All right, we're going to have to talk to the programmer and get that straightened out. Too bad. All right. So from there, we'll go over to the British pound. That's all. Oh, you know what? We'll go over to this. Let me show it to you on the old platform instead. Just check this out. Here is right there. There it is right there. This morning they were really pushing it down. It's calming down a little bit. Maybe we're seeing a little bump in the interest rates on the other way. If we looked at an intraday interest rate chart, maybe. Let's do that. I'm in the mood for fun here today. Intraday chart. Let's go like this and make a copy of one of these. Let's see. Let's do it this way. Let's try it out of this. Copy. Copy window. Paste window. And then let's change the product. This should be fun. Remember the old days? We used to have a 39 contract one up on the screen for people to trade the intraday of the euro dollar. That was always fun. It was very interesting. Format. Let me see how my days back it's going. That almost looks done, doesn't it? Make it 2 days, but it still doesn't make a lot of sense, does it? Might be ticks. I think that's what it is. We have to make it ticks. There we go. There we are. And so you can see, wow, look at that. That must have been the financial news out this morning. That's it. That's at the 8:30 number. I'm not sure what news came out. I wasn't even paying attention, but it gave us a nice swing there. And so you can see, let's see. Wow, that's a nice swing. And look at that. Let's tighten that up. Let's see. Was the math ahead of it? I think I want to say yes. We'll put a line in there. No, it was not. Well, I don't know. I guess you could say it was in a cell and it went down to there, so it obviously caught something. And then, obviously, you can see it went into the cell here. Let's make this go all the way up. And let's make it a different color, because we're not trying to say sell or buy. We're just trying to say this is where it's at. Let's try the yellow line. I like that. There we go. So it goes into the sell there, and it goes down. Goes into the buy there, and it kind of goes up. It's kind of sloppy, but it goes up because of the news coming out in, I guess, soon. No, not really. Then it goes back into the sell there, and it makes lower lows and not higher highs, but close to it. And then they slam it hard time, like right there in that sell. So obviously there was a winner chicken dinner there. How long did that last? That went from 8:31.10 to 8:34. Yeah, 8:34. Interesting. So 3 minutes, and then it's in the buy, and it doesn't. It's it closes here, right? Let's do this. It closes right there, And if you bought it, obviously it gave you a chance to get out up there, that's for sure. And then it's still in a buy. Goes into the sell here. Barely gives you a chance to get out. It's just a very small little low. That's where you have to be good at your money management. There's your buy. Makes up any money you lost, so that's all right. There's no complaints there. All right, and then we can go even further back. You can see the sell, because it's right there. The sell there is almost nothing. No real gain. The buy, though, is the winner chicken dinner. It's in a buy all the way out to there. So that looks like another winner chicken dinner. And this is intraday. Doc's math doing intraday on a 137 tick. There we go. Okay, that was fun. I'm just going to minimize that. And no one's asking questions still. Interesting. All right, I'll just keep on marching. Let's go over to back to the currencies. Right there. Let's take a look at Mr. and Mrs. British Pound. There it is right there. Trying to see if there's anything there. GBUSD. And you can see British Pound's back to unchanged. It's trying to get up through the buy right there. And then let's take a look at it over here too. Oh, not there, but right there. And we'll scroll down. And British Pound. GBP. There we go. GBP. As it loads, and I'll switch you over the moment I see the chart come up on the screen. Like, damn, look at that thing feeding in. Before I switch you over, I want to see it. Nope, application error. Okay, resync. No reasons. Oh, here it is. Okay. Oh, maybe that's what I should have done for the XBD. Here we go. And you can see there, it's actually turning green as we speak. Look at that. It looks the same there, except for the dot is green versus here it's still red. Interesting. And then, so you can see it's trying to lift up. And let's take a look at the algorithm too. Excellent. The daily is still in the sell. Right there. Still battling its way up. Still battling its way up. So it's not there yet. It's still cooking, It's still in the baking stage. All right, and then from there, let's go. Unfortunately, they don't do what I like to call European style. They do like here on the old platform. What we're looking at is the dollar Swiss, the inflation fighters, and you can see it's been in that buy and it's trying to move down. And then over on the beta, it's the reverse. It is Swiss dollar. So let's go to there. It is Swiss dollar. Swiss dollar right there. And you can see there it's got that reverse thing going on. So in other words, as it's going down, the Swiss is losing against the dollar, whereas the dollar Swiss pairs trade, it's the other way around. Unfortunately, in America, we look at currencies more like, we look at them as the dollar is the main theme, whereas I like to look at them outside the United States where the individual currency pairs trade is the main theme. So I always say my charts look at them Eurocentrically. So in other words, you see a couple weeks in a sell here, and then over on the old platform where it's a dollar Swiss pairs trade. See, dollar Swiss there. It's in a buy for 2 weeks. That's the way it's supposed to be. It's reverse. It's all reversed. All reversed. All right, and then okay. So from there we go over to the yen, and there's the yen. You know, it's been doing this bounce up thing, 2 weeks in a buy, and you know they've got a new prime minister, so you know there's policy decision making going on at the moment, and I guess you know they're looking at it and they're saying, okay, I found out why. There it is, right there. We found it. We found it. Okay, so we found the XDE. It put itself in a really strange place. Users like this. That's why we couldn't get it going. So there it is right there. Look at that right there. Now you have access, and now we will be able to use it. User again. That's Doc. Dockaroonie. Right there. All right, now we can slide the. Did it stay there? It did stay there. That's cool. Are we seeing these things start? Okay, so we go like that. There we go. And there's the euro. Euro is trying to make that little bounce just like British pound on our chart. It's got the green going on there. You can't see it, but I will show it to you. There it is right there. And at the same time, you can see the algorithm is in a minus. And the weekly is in a minus. You know, it's doing that same thing as you see right there. Right there. You know, matter of fact, it's on the third week here, which is really cool. And on this one here, it is, you know, you can see that is that's 8 days. Let's go back to the beta. And let's make, you know, you can see here, lots of red beyond 8 days, that's for sure. You know, so we'll go like this. Full screen. Lots of warnings. But then look at that bounce. You had blank. Now there's a green, 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 then a red, and a green, and then reds all the way across, and a green there, and then back to all these reds, well beyond. Interesting. And then let's take a look at the, let's go back to the full screen, and take a look at the daily. And that daily, what was that? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. That's 10 days. So when we go and look at the, where is that? The spreadsheet there, and that's yesterday's spreadsheet, 2 days ago, I'm sorry. I didn't download it. I needed to download it. And so you can see there it was, even so, today is 8, and it's 2 weeks in a sell. This is the third week. You can see that. This is 10 days in a sell. The beta is definitely jumping ahead. Matter of fact, it could be even more. It could be right there because that's probably a red. So let's go back and look at the. So if that's 10, and that's, let's see, what's the date there? The date is, so it's 12 days back. Let's go take a look at. We'll go back and look at the. Let's see, put that back to there, and then we'll go look at this again. And let's count 12 days back. So there is 4. There is 8. There is 1, 2, 3, 4. So it went into the sell right there, 12 days back. So it went into the sell there, and it's been in the sell ever since. Whereas the weekly, though, is not doing the same, which is interesting. You know, in this case here, the weekly is not 3 weeks into it. It's only 2. Interesting. Very interesting. Boy, look at the way they buried that this slow. Even the fast joined in together. Interesting when they cross. I've noticed that over the years. When they cross like that, it definitely gives you, like, they're like little tidbits of like, pay attention. This thing's trying to break down. And sure enough, you get the breakdown. But this is only 2 weeks, whereas the other platform is showing us 3. But then the daily was 12 days back. So you're talking about 3 days this week. This is the 4th day. This is Thursday. So 4 and 5 is 9. And then the following 9 and 5 is 13. So basically, it pushed us into the sell it didn't this week didn't get confirmed into it because it was going sideways. That's the way I'm looking at it. But it gave you a warning not to be long. That's for sure. It gave you that warning. Let's go back to this right there and go like that. And so the beta is warning you clearly that it didn't go into the sell that week the way it did on the old platform, but it was still in a buy. So both of them were telling you two different stories. No, I'm sorry. Let's say that again. Both of them were telling you the same story two different ways. That's better. Saying the same story, but two different ways. And that's what we learned a long time ago. We ran three different multi-charts. I'm sorry, three multi-chart. Yes, three multi-charts, three separate multi-charts with three separate feeds. And at times they did the same thing. They always did that. They told you the same story, but just in a different way with the math. Which really, we tried to do all kinds of things to discover. It was like a cycle thing. We looked in it. We thought it might have been the processor in the computer itself that would influence the way it's reading things. We tried all kinds of experimentations. Me and a hardware specialist for 4 or 5 years. We used to call him Starfighter. Remember? We had a good friend in Romania, and he was a programmer, and that's what he does now. He's one of the smartest people over there. I think he scored the highest score in the public service test before he went back to the state police. And so we used to call him Starfighter. And him and I, for years, played with that. We tried to figure out why three different programs of the same three programs, but with different feeds on different computers, would give us the same story, but in different ways. And that's interesting. So in other words, the same story means it gave us the right direction every time. It just did it the way this did it. In other words, in this case here, the old platform shows us 3 weeks in a sell. The new beta, only 2 weeks in a sell. The old platform at the same time, which is 3 weeks in a sell, only gives us 8 days in a sell. The new beta gives us 12 days in a sell. So it's almost like a whole week more. It's fascinating. Just totally fascinating. Actually, yeah, totally fascinating. All right, so from there, we were looking at the yen. Let's go back to the yen because now that we have that all straightened out. So there's the yen, and you can see it's been moving up. Let's take a look at on the here, let me do this. Let's do this too. We'll go like this. Let's show you Tokyo because I didn't even look at Tokyo this morning. I figured we'd save it for this time of the day so I can be entertained by all the action of the markets themselves. There it is right there. You can see it was, what was it? I think it was up for the day, but with a red dot. Yeah, so it was up for the day. They gapped it up, and then they tried to close it towards the lower end of the day, but it was still up more than the day before. So that's the Nikkei in Tokyo. And then, we slip over to the currency itself. And the currency is gaining against the dollar. So that's cool. Just like their stock market is gaining against the losers. Whereas instead of the losers gaining against the winners. How about that one? Let's check out the great experiment. Turkish lira. What have you done for me lately? Look at that. It's doing good things for the population. It's going down. That's what we want. Less Turkish lira to anything. That's what we want. We want that inflation to go away. Go away, inflation. Go away. And you can see 3 weeks in a weekly sell from the top here, which is nice. We figured that we got at least 2 more weeks, maybe. I don't know. It's hard to say. We'll see. When you can see here, the fast algorithm is below the manifold right there. It's the only way I can show that. Like, I can go like this. Can I do that? It makes it bigger. You see that's below it. And then you can see at the same time the slow which we follow more, is above it. So it's trying to turn up. That's saying, and there's the zero line right there. So we're not, super bullish on it, but we're happy. Anytime the inflation drops for the population of Turkey, I'm always happy. I'm very happy. So you can see yesterday, it tried to get into it. Look at that. The algorithm, the slow algorithm on the daily was minus 0.06. And so it was just kissing the zero line. Just kissing it by the hair of its chinny chin. Just a kiss. But it didn't get plus. Did not. And it was a red dot right there. So hooray for the winning side of anti-experiment. We're less experiment when it comes to population and their currency. We don't want to see people get beat up by inflation's like the ultimate evil tax of all. Government doing things that inflate the currency so they can, they're the ones printing the money, right? So if you sell something and it loses value, right? You printed it and you sold it to people and it loses value. Who's the winner there? Obviously you, the government, not the population. That's definitely something that most people never even think about out loud. They don't talk about it. But inflation is the most evil of all government taxes. And how do you get it? Well, do experimentation the way the Turkish central bank has been doing for like the last 8 or 9 years. Just making it so their currency just loses value because they print so much of it that it doesn't have anywhere near the value that when the people had to use it. So, all right, I can see this. Look at this. Here's the stock market. Check this intraday stock market out. Here's the S&P 500. We'll just throw up the big screen. You can see here they're pushing it down a little bit from yesterday's close. Let's show you where yesterday's close was. Right up in here, up into the 35-40 area. See that right there? There's 38. And so, no, actually more. That was when the news came out this morning. That's today. Let me show you. Let me crunch this up tight. Like that. This way you can see yesterday's numbers. See, that thing was over the 40s going into the New York close last night. Let's see, where's New York close? New York close is right around in here. There's the New York close right there, and that is 40. Then in the aftermarket of the last 7 minutes afterwards, with the futures contract, they knocked it down and then brought it back up. And this is 20 minutes after the New York close, and then this is an hour after the New York close right here, pushing it back up into the 40s in the Asian hour. This is the European Open, somewhere around in here, around 2. Yep, that's the European Open. Now let's go like this, and you can see it's gonna. There it is. So there's your European Open. They knocked it down sideways, tried to lift it up again, and we'll show it to you there. And that's the U.S. stock market. And then the webinar started right here on the news itself. Whatever data came out, I don't see it. We weren't paying attention. I was being as laissez-faire, playing around with the charts. And so you can see they sold the stock market down from the 40-ish area from yesterday's close down to, was that 16? A low of 16 from 40, 24 points in a matter of, let's see, that's the number there at 8:30 Eastern Standard, and that is 5 seconds later. 8 seconds later. 8 seconds later. Let me just widen that out so you can see that even more. 8 seconds later. Not 8 minutes. 8 seconds. So the action came into that so fast. There it is at 7:30. You can see where it says time 7. Let's see if I can't do a second one. Another arrow, but that's 7:30 right there. You can see it. If I go up there with the box, you see it. See that? It says 10/10/2024 times 7:30:00, right? And then you can see 7:30 and 5 seconds is right there. So 5 seconds, that thing swung from 43 in 8 seconds down to 16. Let's say 17. So that's 26 handles in 8 seconds. Yeah, 8 seconds, not 8 minutes, 8 seconds. Then it did a little cute bounce. Let's see what the time frame from there is. From 8 to 8 seconds. That was another 8 seconds. So another 8 seconds to there to bounce up, but it didn't got back to the closing area. No, it didn't. Still lower. And now let's see where we're at the moment. There is the 15. It got down to 15. And that was 19 minutes ago, 20 minutes ago. And after hitting that 8 second right there. Right there. And then you can see, made another new low. It's gotten back up to the 24. It's bouncing around. And obviously whatever came out, let's see. Whatever came out, let me see what the Dukascopy's calendar says. Let's see. Let's go over to here. Let's show you the Dukascopy economic calendar. Right there. Online economic calendar, Dukascopy, Swiss Bank. And today, bada bing, bada bang. There's your 8:30 or 7:30, however you want to call it. It's the computers are giving us the Chicago time, I guess. Continuing jobless claims, medium and medium. Consumer price index came out also, high and high. Let's see what it was. Jobless claims came out 1.86 actual. They were looking for 1.82. 258,000 initial jobless claims, and it was supposed to be 225. And the Fed will straighten this out. They'll just buy. The Fed just buys. And then consumer price index went up 3.3%. Forecast to be 3.1, and previous one was 3.2. So it went up 0.2 more than they were expecting. The consumer price index, which is high, year over year was 2.4 versus 2.3. And the consumer price month over month was 0.3 versus 0.2. And so that's why we saw that wild movement at 8:30 Eastern, 7:30 Chicago time. All right. Bada bing, bada boom, bada bang. So. And then the Fed, they hold the markets up. They are the free put. That's who they are. All right. Just don't tell them that. They hate hearing that. It's not me. I don't do it. All right. So there it is. That is. And I have a title today. I've thought up the title. I already thought up the title because I love that conversation I had with myself. And that conversation was, I'm not going to say it out loud until I get to where I'm going. Come on, phone. Do your thing. What's up with you? There we go. Where are you? There you are. Okay, so now I can write title. Let's see. Title today will be, and it's about the same story, different way. Title. And that is Market Story Let's see, should I say both? I say market story told. I'm trying to make it 5 words, Market story told many ways. How about if we do this? One market story told many ways. I like that. One market story told many ways. I like that. That's That's it. Because, I mean, we've really showed the evidence for that. I mean, over the years, we've seen that over and over. Like I said, we've done all kinds of experimentations. So, all right, traders, we're out of here. This is Doc from North America. And we will catch you all same time, same channel tomorrow. Tomorrow's TGIF. So, thank goodness it'll be the end of the week. Friday. So, happy trails to you until we meet again. Happy trails to you and to our trading friends. Traders, have a safe and a smart trading day. Ta-ta for now.